What happened after you had sex with your best friend? Story 1. Best friends for 8 years, she and I figured out we had feelings. Had sex, started dating immediately after. She got breast cancer 1.5 years into dating. Didn't skip a beat, and happily married my best friend. Got to find out what true love really is. She passed away in December. I miss my best friend. Story 2. What happened is, I wanted more and fell totally in love with her. She didn't and thought it was a mistake. We tried staying friend, she became distant, I became weird. She decided that we shouldn't see each other anymore. At all. Story 3. We had gotten drunk to celebrate me getting into med school, and 8 years of repressed sexual tension just poured out in a single night. The next 3 days, we were both in a panic daze. I thought I had lost my best friend for the best sex of my life, and I couldn't stop thinking it wasn't worth it. The sex was mind-blowing, but no one made me feel as safe or as happy, and I would trade anything to keep that. He asked, would it really be so crazy if we tried dating? We moved in together a month later. We've been together now for 7 years, got engaged. Saving up for a house and wedding. He's still my best friend. Story 4. Best friends for 7 years, and we both just went through really nasty breakups where we were cheated on. Ended up having sex when he came over at like 4 a.m. one night. We ended up sleeping together daily for weeks after that. I ended up pregnant, and to be honest, I was terrified. I wasn't sure if he'd be willing to stick around given the circumstances. Turns out he was excited. Having a family was all he ever wanted. We didn't start dating immediately. I didn't want us to be together solely for the fact that we were having a baby. I wanted to make sure there was an actual connection there. In October, after months of basically living together, we made it official. Baby boy is due any day now, and we couldn't be any happier. Having him come over that night in June was the best decision I ever made. Story 5. I dated her, helped deliver her daughter, raised her daughter as mine, and don't regret it. Bought a house, moved in together, she began hating being a mother and staying at home all the time, started cheating with coworkers, got exposed by her 2-year-old daughter. Please don't even ask how. I packed my shit and left immediately. Now she makes TikToks about how shitty I am to this day. Yet the only thing I miss about that relationship is being a father to that baby. Now she's the reason I don't think I'll ever date a woman with kids or are pregnant. Nothing against those beautiful women, but I'm honestly traumatized, because I still miss that kid every day. Story 6. Had sex. Dated. Broke up. Got back together. Got married. Had 5 kids. Took trips to Japan and Europe. And now, as I'm dying of stage 4 cancer, she is by my side keeping me company, taking care of me, and yet even having sex with me still. Thanks for all the love and kind words. You guys are awesome. People are asking, so we are both 38. Our kids are 11/10/5/4/2. The 5 and 4-year-olds have severe autism, which makes life more challenging and interesting at the same time. I worry for them most, because the world is still not made for people like them. I would have wanted to be there to protect them always. Story 7. We briefly dated before becoming best friends. We broke up, didn't see each other for a month, and then started hanging out again. We are best friends now. We see each other all the time. We cook dinner together, we go out together on the weekends. Then we started having sex again. We see each other multiple times a week, and I've been living at his house for the last 10 days. I'm at work and he's doing my laundry right now. We tell each other that we love each other. Neither of us have been with another person since the day we met. We're just friends though. Story 8. We did a FWB thing for about 3 years. Whenever we were both single, we'd hook up. She lived about 300 miles away. We used to sort of dance around the possibility of actually dating, even getting married, but we never pulled the trigger. The distance was too much, I think. We loved each other very much. Got to the point where whether it was platonic or romantic love was difficult to tell, and weirdly, either of us was in a rush to figure it out. I guess we both had faith it would work itself out as it was supposed to. And it did. She met a great guy, dated him, and married him. I performed the ceremony. After it was over, at the reception, I gave her a hug and she kissed my cheek and smiled a little flirtatiously. We both knew it was the last time she'd give me that look, and said, "Thanks for marrying me." It was one of the most purely loving, intimate moments of my life. We are still close. Not like before, but we still love each other deeply, and we always will. That love just has a more clearly defined label now, and it's a label we both respect and cherish. So yeah, it's not always a sad ending. Sometimes it's just a weird and beautiful intermission. Story 9. It ruined everything. We don't talk anymore. I'm a gay man with a girl best friend since high school. This happened 7 years ago. I guess I was a little fluid during that period of my life when it happened. But totally prefer only guys now. LOL. I broke up with my boyfriend who was cheating on me and occasionally physically hurts me in public. She was finally separated from her toxic husband who also beats her up. I had a fist fight with this dude one time, and he hates my guts and forbid her from seeing me. She became a single mom and she was barely having any sex with anyone at that time cause of juggling work and taking care of her daughter. One night, she was insisting on sleeping over at my place. Since her kid was at her parents', and she didn't want to be alone. I was like, yeah, sure. Cool. We ordered dinner, watched Friends, looked at our HS yearbook, reminisced, having wine. Probably more than we were supposed to. When it was time for bed, I told her that she can sleep on my bed. And I'll just sleep on the couch like always. But for some reason she was very persistent on making me sleep on the same bed as it. Had enough room. And I eventually agreed. She played footsies under the sheets with me on my bed. It was kind of awkward at first cause I wasn't responding and pretending to sleep. But her hands were hovering on my chest and going down to my crotch and into my sweatpants. I don't know if it was the alcohol, her hands traveling to the base of my dick, or what, but she looked so pretty when I glanced at her, and she just let out this naughty but sexy smile. I caved in and kissed her. We just made out so much, then one thing led to another, and we had sex. It was actually good. Haha. We kept hanging out for a few more weeks and I was developing some feelings for her. I asked her if she wanted to give it a try. I even thought to myself, I'll be fully ready to take care of her and her toddler if it worked out, but when I poured my heart out and confessed to her, she just ghosted me. I was crying for a month. Found out she has a new husband now and a second kid. They also transferred to my city. And lives at the street next to mine. Sad face. Remember to subscribe for more content.